for this team to start the season as well as they have, and how do you keep building on that early success?
Yeah, I mean, I think the preseason was periodized well. Rotating the roster, getting more guys minutes in the preseason games helped, and then their buy-in to what we're teaching, and I believe that we set up the training environment to be intense, but also teaching our philosophy at the same time. So that with just the group having a good understanding of each other and clicking at the right times. I mean, you never know, right? I think just sticking to the daily process and having like goal-oriented principles in each day, trying to dissect the big picture into smaller segments is making the learning environment easier for them. So we're seeing the fruits of that. You could have all those things and still maybe the ball doesn't roll your way and you don't get some of those results. So also it just comes down to the mentality of the guys when they're competing.
So far this season, you've had more road games than home games. What have you learned from the group and how they handle travel and playing hard games with quick turnarounds?
Yeah, I mean, the travel's not easy. With that in mind, knowing how to load the players throughout the week, knowing that travel is going to fatigue them and not overtraining is important. Oftentimes being on the road, you're together the majority of the time. Sometimes home games are a little bit more difficult because there's not as much contact with the group and we just show up on game day. And then, just like every team, they want to win at home. There's a little bit more riding on the fact that they got their local fans and families watching them. So I don't see a huge difference in the two other than that our travel is tough, especially with the Open Cup. So we got to make sure that we manage our loads in training and making sure they're fresh. We just gave them 2 days off, which was really good. That's very rare for us considering how many games we've had. And the week we've had we've hit all our goals, which is great. And the group's in a good place because they're seeing the fruits of their labor with results and points, and we just got to keep that going.
Armando Moreno just won Player of the Week. How deserving do you think he is in this?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of good players and a lot of good teams out there. I can speak on Armando and his professionalism with our group, the impact he made on this last home game. The fact that his wife was in town watching, which is rare because she lives apart from him, was a special moment for him. And I know that he is excited about that. He scored an amazing first goal off balance. The way he finished that goal was a great goal. What I do like about him is that he's playing for the team. He's defending hard. He's working in transition on both sides of the ball. And he cares about the group. And so he's playing in a way that he's playing collectively. And so because he's playing collectively, he's getting himself in positions individually to score goals and to get accolades. So that's a team award in my perspective because we're collectively getting him into positions to score.
Hartford is off to a decent start, but might be looking to play a bit more aggressive since they haven't picked up points in the last 2 games. How do you slow down their quality, attacking players, and minimize good looks at goal?
I mean, we got to really do a deep dive into Hartford today and tomorrow. I haven't really been focusing on them. It's just focusing on the next game. I've watched one game this season of them. They have a coach that has experience with good attacking teams, good attacking players, and they're a hard-nosed team that defend hard and also attack very well. So the same way we've approached every team, to be honest, with our identity at the forefront and then focusing on maybe the details about their game model and playing style that we can find success. But yeah, I'm not really haven't even put it too much on Hartford today, all day today and tomorrow. That's why we have our analysts and we do our scouting reports, and I'll be really evaluating them to see how we want to approach training tomorrow. and also Thursday, and then just kind of have the same approach. I've watched their teams. I've watched Brendan's teams in the past, so I have a good idea of how they play. But it's a new year, so that'll be up to our staff to see. I can't quite answer that yet, I guess. Yeah.
Sounds good.
Just off to an unbeaten start to the season, your first year here as the head coach. What's the biggest lesson you've learned from this start that maybe you guys can carry with you the rest of the way? I know there's still a lot of soccer to be played.
Yeah, I mean, the beauty of this is like the hardest part about just my position is understanding that you're still developing when you're not getting results, and getting the team to understand that there's still a lot of things we need to fix when we are getting results. And kind of keeping a even keel and just focusing on great. We're really excited about the fact that we are winning games and getting points, and I'm proud of the guys for that. But there's still a lot of things from the last game that we could improve, and the guys, we just did our reflection today, and it's taking those things. And what I'm really happy with is I'm seeing them self-analyze within the game and making corrections themselves and collectively without us even having to go into halftime. So that is the right mindset to have in the games. So the more we can do that, the more success we're going to have, because individually they're self-analyzing within key moments within the game. So that's positive.
In terms of that mental toughness, the resiliency, all of that. I mean, I imagine in every game you kind of find out something different along the way about your team, about the locker room, about different aspects, both good and bad. I mean, what have you seen from this group from beginning to now that kind of gives you hope for what's coming down the line? Just in the way that.
Yeah, I mean, that comes, I think, from within. The individuals have, in their careers and in their progression as players, have found that mentality part, and that's what's got them to this point. Our job as a staff is to see what we can do to improve what they do well, and then give them information on their developmental areas. What I've found is that this is a group that want that feedback, that have been working on improving with those aspects of their game, and have open mind and kind of a solution-based approach to everything. So when you have a group like that, you got to continue feeding that group so that we can continue progressing. There is going to be points in this season where we're going to face adversity, and it's not all going to be as our start was. We hope that those moments are far and few between, and that we continue in this progression. But we also got to prepare them for doing all the right things and maybe not getting results, or getting a draw or maybe situations that are out of our control. But overall, the mentality of the group and just their approach to coming to work every day has been fun for me as a head coach to work with, and for our staff. And the other part of it is like days like today, re-entry day, sometimes you just got to let them loose and let them do what they love. Let them play, less coaching points, and just let them be free. The game is meant to be a free-flowing game, and the game is meant for players to express themselves within it. All we're here to do is give them the structure and the ideas of how we want to approach it, and then it's their ability and innate soccer IQ to implement within the game.
We won't probably see you again before the U.S. Open Cup in Houston, and I know you can't be specific about that. You've got Hartford next.
Yeah.
But just talk about the opportunity to play an MLS squad in a meaningful competition, what that means for you, what that means for your players.
Yeah, we have quite a few players that have played in MLS first teams. Obviously, my career has been the majority of the time in Major League Soccer. I believe that there's a lot of USL players that are just as good as, or if not better than, some of the MLS players on rosters, from my experience. I think there's something to prove with us, that we belong on the field and that we can compete. And I do believe that, I know the coaches at Houston. I'm very close with a few of them. They're not going to take us lightly. They're going to approach this the same professionalism they're taking on a MLS opponent. And it's our job to be sharp on the day, be confident and walk out there as if we belong and that we have just as good of a chance to get a result as they do. And that's how you have to approach every game. Being in an MLS stadium, I worked for the Houston Dynamo organization. I was the head coach for their second team at Rio Grande Valley. I respect the club a lot, but I believe that we are going to go there confident with the same mindset that we have in every game this season. And it's a good opportunity for, for our city and our club to get exposure. Anytime that you can have a good result against an MLS opponent, it does get some more people starting to look our way. But the reality is, I've been a part of the Open Cup for many years, and there's always USL teams that knock off MLS teams within the each year. So our guys are focusing on Hartford. I don't try to delve too deep into a game that is not the next one up. And as you can see, my focus was on our reflection on who we are more than even Hartford at this point. We'll take these 2 days to focus on what we have to do to get that result, or at least be close to competing for a result. And then we'll start thinking about Houston then. But awesome opportunity, and proud of the guys they got themselves to this point.
Scoring a lot of goals so far this season. What's been fueling you guys' success on that end of the field?
Working on that phase of the field, creating relationships with the players that are in those spaces. That comes from the training environment and getting them a lot of repetitions and then, their ability within the games to find the open player, to find the open pass. And then the technical execution's on them, right? But we do work a lot on it. Like I said at the beginning in my first press conference, this is a team that has just really good attacking ability, and it's our job to get them sharp at those aspects. Where I felt the biggest developmental area for this team was our defending. So we're not happy about last game, obviously giving up 2 goals. So we got to continue that mindset of we're defending with the collective team, and that we have to be really good in transitional moments defensively. If we can get that right, we'll put ourselves in positions to win games because of our attacking players that we have.
Coach, I would like to apologize for invading the practice ground earlier. My bad, first time here. Manny from Telemundo, I wanted to ask you if it's okay if I ask you a few questions in Spanish.
Yeah, that's fine. Mm-hmm.
Okay, profe, obviamente ha sido una temporada hasta ahora muy buena, porque no han perdido, no han conocido la derrota, pero también si nos puede hablar de la clave que usted toma para que este resultado se dé en la cancha, porque obviamente todo empieza aquí, desde la práctica.
Sí, es tener un entrenamiento muy dinámico, con intensidad, y que hacemos los ejercicios como vamos a ver en los partidos, es muy importante. Para mí el colectivo tiene que saber que cada minuto de entrenamiento tienes que preparar nosotros para los partidos, y con esa mentalidad sí podemos seguir lo que estamos haciendo. Es algo bonito que estamos logrando en este momento. Veo la confianza del grupo, que sí tienen fe que podemos ganar partidos, cada partido, no importa si es USL, uno de una liga menor o uno del MLS. Y esa confianza está creciendo cada día, y veo que el equipo anda en muy, muy buen ritmo en este momento.
Y de hecho, ahorita también hablando con los jugadores, varios me dijeron esa palabra, intenso. Pero también me dijeron incluidos y también me dijeron unidad.
Sí.
¿Cuál ha sido la clave para que ellos sientan, aparte de la intensidad, que pues obviamente cuando le estás exigiendo a un jugador, que se sientan incluidos y que también sientan esa unión y que esa conexión con parte de él?
Sí, muchos juntas, muchos videos, muchas prácticas con ellos, y también tomando como técnico la opinión del jugador, porque al fin ellos están compitiendo, yo no estoy compitiendo, yo estoy dirigiendo. Entonces es muy importante que ellos me dan lo que están pensando, lo que están viendo en el partido, y que lo estamos tomando en los ejercicios que estamos planeando. Y es colectivo. Para mí, el resumen de un partido es para que ellos tienen la oportunidad de hablarlo, como que sintieron, cómo fue el partido para ellos, como individual y también colectivo. Y allí con los que nosotros vimos como cuerpo técnico, nos juntamos y ahí planeamos la semana. Y es así, porque para mí es muy importante también, las carreras de estos jugadores no van a seguir por 20 años. También algunos van a ser técnicos, otros van a ser en la vida, van a tener trabajos que van a estar manejando más personas en sus trabajos, y la forma de liderazgo es muy importante también, crecer como equipo.
Y bueno, para usted, ¿qué significa que tipos como Armando Moreno, después de meter un doblete y convertirse en el hombre de la semana, venga y se pare aquí, nosotros bien emocionados por eso, y él diga, no, pues a mí lo que en verdad me importa es haber sacado el resultado con mi equipo? Para usted,
Sí.
como entrenador, ¿qué significa eso?
Sí, es del primer día es hablar la misma lenguaje. Yo como técnico y ellos como jugadores. Y siempre ponemos el equipo primero en todo en todo lo que hacemos. Y eso es muy importante. Si empiezas así, no hay otra forma de trabajar.
Y obviamente varias contrataciones de la academia, le ha dado titularidades, la confianza como a Kenneth.
Sí.
Para tipos como él, yo sé, estamos enfocándonos en la liga ahorita, pero hablando de tipos como él, jóvenes que no llegan ni a los 20 años, vayan de la mano de un tipo como usted experimentado a enfrentarse a equipos de la MLS y decirle, tú puedes, y yo he visto que tienen lo mismo que tú y todos están compuestos igual. ¿Qué tan importante es para esos chavales sumar esa experiencia?
Sí, bueno, si el jugador está listo para competir, lo voy a poner. Para mí no es la edad, pero a dónde estás en su carrera y en su desarrollo. Y siempre yo tengo mucha experiencia desarrollando jóvenes. Y ya cuando es el momento de ponerlos, lo voy a poner. Si ya lograron y están compitiendo con unos con más experiencia, también es bueno para los veteranos que ven que el técnico va a poner el jugador que está listo. Y ahí, pero lo que me gusta es que los veteranos en este grupo también están apoyando a los jóvenes. Y estuve hablando hoy en el resumen del partido con Kofi, que tiene 9 años jugando profesional y tiene un joven con 4 partidos. Entonces, ¿qué podía hacer él para ayudarlo en el primer tiempo? Esos temas son muy importantes de hablar con el grupo, que no se olvidan que el chico tiene 16 años y a veces necesitan ayuda cuando están compitiendo también. Entonces, eso es muy importante. Veo que tenemos una academia que está preparando a los jóvenes en una buena forma, que están aquí entrenando, y que ojalá que hay más que se agarran la chance para jugar y demostrar lo que tienen.
Perfecto. Y ya nada más, si puede hablar de esa experiencia que va a ser para, igual y no como usted, pero como equipo, ir a enfrentar al equipo de la MLS, que usted estaba comentando ahorita en inglés en su respuesta, que me gustó mucho.
Sí.
Que ustedes como equipo más bien piensen que sienten algo que comprobarse a sí mismos más que a cualquiera, ¿no?
Sí, que tenemos que tomar cada partido con confianza, pensando en nosotros. Cómo jugamos, cómo podemos jugar mejor en este partido, qué detalles estamos entrenando para tener un triunfo, qué vemos del rival que podemos lograr en los momentos más importantes en los partidos, que tú sabes que el ritmo de un partido también a veces sube y baja. Cómo podemos manejar todo, que estamos con el balón haciendo lo que queremos hacer. Y en contra un equipo como Houston Dynamo, vamos a tener que estar muy concentrados y muy organizados, pero también tenemos jugadores que pueden afectar el resultado. Y yo tengo toda confianza con el grupo. Primero es jugar el partido de este fin de semana, y ahí vamos a empezar a preparar para Houston.
Muchas gracias, coach.
De nada.
Two final questions in English for social media, basically.
Uh-huh.
The first one is this the second consecutive home match where we end up having Player of the Week right after? What does this mean for you?
Yeah, like I mentioned earlier, like having Players of the Week are team awards. It means that the team's executing everything that we've been training, and they're putting the player in a position so that he can have success. And it's really special. When I came here, I came and I toured the stadium, and I thought, wow, it would be a good experience to lead a team in this stadium. And as each game, I'm seeing that the stadium is getting more packed with fans. And that for me is the most important, that the people of El Paso here see our games as a destination spot and to cheer on our team, and that they feel like they're a part of it. And I'm hoping that we can continue having success so that more and more fans can come and we can get more players of the week.
Speaking about the fans and kind of a little bit about another interesting stat. Right now, two of our boys, Moreno and Rubin, are tied. I know it's too early, but they're tied for the race to the Golden Boot.
Mhm.
Right? What does this mean to you in terms of like how the team is performing, right? Because we have, Moreno mentioned it, we have people in the front that don't care who it is as long as we do a team effort and they score.
Yeah, these players, they want goal contribution. So whether it's an assist or a goal, I love that they're speaking that language without me around to you in the media. That means that they bought in, and that's important. That they feel that they're just as excited for getting an assist or maybe being part of the play that led up to the goal, just like scoring. That just gives you kind of some insight on the culture that we're creating, and we got to continue it. It's like I said, the adversity is going to come at some point. We need to have the same mindset, and if we're continuing to show that with actions in our games and in our training, then I know we're going to be well prepared for anything that comes later in the season.
Thank you so much, Coach.
Profe, nada
Yeah.
más aprovechando eso, diciendo que cada vez está notando más lleno el estadio. ¿Algún
Sí.
mensaje para los fanáticos en español?
Los que no han ido a apoyar al grupo que vienen para los partidos, para mí, mi familia estuvieron aquí este fin de semana y fue una buena experiencia. Mis hijos en la cancha y todo lo que hay en el partido, menos el fútbol, es una experiencia buena para la familia y tienen que traer la familia para uno apoyar el grupo y también tienen buen tiempo en el estadio.
Muchas gracias, profe.
Ok, de nada. Ajá.